As this is day 11 of trading the 2 million Rand funded account and doing this challenge every step of the way with you. And today we caught a beautiful Euro USD sell. Again, in the last video, you'll see that we went from drawdown to break even, and now this trade taking us to profit. You guys understand my profit targets on a day-to-day basis if you watch a previous video. And hope you've been learning something during these videos and the course of these videos that I've been doing for you guys in terms of management, in terms of how to manage a proper funded account, what's the best solution to go for. And again, just showing my legitimacy within this industry by showing you that I can pass a fund account and get a payout. So hope you guys have been enjoying these videos. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell because I'll be continuously bringing you valuable content. And again, if you have any videos that you recommend me doing or something that you want to see in a question that hasn't been answered, comment down below in this video and I'll make sure I do a video on that for you. I look at the comments every single day as I want to bring the content that you are requesting. But other than that, let's get into the video. What do we always say in every single video is identifying flow. So obviously yesterday it closed bullish. You know, this is Friday, so this is coming into Monday's trade, right, on the 6th of October. We can see that there's a bit of a gap in the market, and this is due to the dollar rising quite aggressively. Because if we go take a look at news, so if we take a look at news on why the dollar actually started to rise was because of this lady, the first Japanese lady to enter the government and lead a certain high position. For example, here, the Japanese yen weakened sharply in reaction to Sane's Tadachi's, I hope I'm saying that right, election as the leaders of Japan ruling the LDP. Okay, so that's something that's very, very big. It is the first woman to ever be in that position and leading the operation within the government, in the Japanese government. So that obviously brings uncertainty into the market, right? Because it's the first time a woman is in this position. The Japanese market is understanding, okay, what is the next step? There's, uncertainty where investors, a lot of money is being shifted around, etc., etc. So that's obviously why the dollar was rising. And we could see that there was a gap and it affected the market in many different ways. And that's why macro is very, very important to align yourself in terms of your ideas. And because of this hindsight news, we saw dollars started to rise quite aggressively during Asian session, right? So in terms of edgeful stats, if we jump to it, the stats are 88% green candle day if it breaks above and 73% red candle day if it breaks below. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind of. But we have macros on our side as well in terms of dollar going to be rising. So we did take a Euro USD sell on this trade idea. We can see that we get a beautiful crack below that level. Right, what I did is I took my 15 supply area on this area. You can see it taps right back into the overnight high. We dropped down to the 5 minute. Some things that I also recognized in this idea was simply I can take my fib from the top to the bottom, and we can see it aligns quite beautifully with that 61 and 71 area with the EMA starting to line as well. So we entered our position. I think we went a little bit early after that bullish push, but with our stops just above that 5 minute EMA for management. Remember, management, we can always align ourselves with the different EMAs and how price action is moving. And then ideally we were targeting that 27 mark. So that was pretty beautiful idea. It's pretty A grade in terms of stats. We've got macros. We also have price action breaking quite nicely down, overnight low, retesting back into that 71 area with the EMA. Something that's also to keep in mind in terms of the red flags when it comes to this idea was one, when 9 o'clock opened, right? We can see this is 9 o'clock candle. That owl candle was very, very bullish, okay? We saw that volume come in quite aggressively to the top side, and about 9:30, just before 9:30, 9:25, we saw that price was a bit aggressive. So we were looking ready to manage this idea. We only put 0.5% risk on this trade. Again, remember, we're putting 0.5% risk to make 1%. We're trying to target 20K every single day, so 1 to 2, right? And then essentially we saw as price opened up on the next 30 minutes, right, we got a nice little candle. First open, we're already getting that nice reaction. And then 71 getting tapped on that EMA once again. And then we have a massive, massive spike in the market to the downside. And I actually held the trade a little bit further here. My stops and my entry was very, very little. And that's essentially why I did not hit a 5R. It would have been great if we held the trade, maybe put a little bit more size on. But we started to cut some profits as it was going down, reaching in the profit obviously today. I'll leave a screenshot up here. But again, this is macroeconomics. This was unforeseen. And the reason why this happened, so remember, we had macroeconomics on our side in terms of this lady being Sane being appointed as the leading in member of the House of Representatives of Japan, right, and now leading obviously the LDP. Okay, so that was the first little macro that we had in terms of looking for sells on this idea. With this gap, it was something I was keeping in mind of, but price was definitely bearish on the day. The next thing that we needed to understand is actually, which is quite interesting, and I must admit I laughed at it, was the Prime Minister of France only got into office a month ago, but he resigned that morning and stated online that he resigned at 9:40, and that is a massive thing. So after being 1 month in office, the Prime Minister is resigning and probably going for that pension fund, or I'm not too sure why, but it definitely paid me a little bit of cash this morning in terms of the price. In terms of price selling down so aggressively, because this also creates uncertainty in the European market. Why is the Prime Minister leaving after a month? People have questions. Is this a good place to start investing? People are going to take out money. Again, trading is not just about candlesticks on a chart, especially even when it comes to the European market, the US market. We've understand that macroeconomics can drastically change the outcome of where price is actually going to go. So, and even when we are trading forex pairs, it does affect it quite aggressively. And again, this is just numbers of where money is being flowed, especially in different countries. For example, the European versus the dollar. The dollar was already positive because of the Cyanide news, and then again positive with the European France Prime Minister leaving after 1 month. So it definitely was in our favor. It could have gone the opposite way, but it did jump in our direction. And again, it was an A+ setup. I mean, I would have taken this trade any single time of the week, and really good profits. So I hope you learned something in this video. This is day 11 of trading the 2 million rand funded account, and we can see we're up good profits on this account so far, and I hope you are really taking note of what we're doing. Again, this is just a legitimacy within the industry. I've shown the same strategy over and over and over again in each individual video that I've made for you guys in this challenge, and you can see it does work. Of course, there are ideas that I could have managed a bit better. I think the 2 losses that we took was, one, entered a bit early, but did hit stop loss overall. The second loss that we took was not even because of the trade not hitting TP, but it's because I managed it too aggressively. Otherwise, we would have taken a win. Then, out of all the trades that you've taken, our win percentage would have been very much up, okay? So, if you guys want to join our team and trade live with us every single day, right? I'm going to leave a link in the bottom of this video to book a call with me. It's time to start taking your trading serious if you want to be able to stay consistent in this market and be able to understand how macros, how strategy, how all of this all combine so that you can actually have probability in your favor. That's the most important thing. Not just taking trades out of hope and trying to flip accounts. I'm teaching my guys how to scale up their capital, whether it be personal capital or funded accounts, so that they're able to get beautiful payouts and actually make salaries from their trading. But hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn that notification bell. Peace out.